Hello everyone, this is 05 and welcome to the Korean Mattel toy review. And today's review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Mattel of the Walmart exclusive of the DCUC Classic celebrating the 75 years of superpower of the Green Lanterns like 5-pack. And today's video is a part 3 video, and we'll be focusing our review on John Stewart. And you can see the figure and the Green Lantern accessory is still in the packaging, but first things first, we'll take a look at the back of the packaging. Now at the top section there, you got a smaller image of the figure itself, the John Stewart figure. Next to it is the Green Lantern Core comic, issue 201. And here we have a biography stating when Green Lantern Hal Jordan was incapacitated en route to GALA adventure, Hal's Power Ring selected John Stewart to be Hal's alternate peacekeeper of Space Sector 2814. Honest and utterly without fear, John was eventually awarded his own Power Ring and full-time status as a Green Lantern in his own right. He continues battling evil as a Green Lantern, his dedication earning him full membership in the GALA. Very nice. Now, without further ado, let's open up this packaging, releasing John Stewart out from the packaging and more or less the figure. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the accessory out from packaging. Now let's take a look at the accessory there. It comes with a Green Lantern accessory, and I don't need to talk so much about this accessory because it's the same old accessory that I already mentioned in the Hal Jordan review and Tomari's review. It's painted in metallic green paint job, and the entire handle can actually turn 360 degrees as shown like so. And the figure can actually hold it onto his left hand only. You have to pull the four fingers apart a little bit so you can slip in the handle like so, and you can hold the lantern quite easily, and you can pull it out like so, and there you have it with the Green Lantern. Now let's take a look at the John Stewart's paint job. The entire figure's paint job is very nicely done. I really like this unique design of the costume itself. It doesn't follow the rest of the other three characters like Hal Jordan, Tomari, and Sinestro there, as you can see. Paint job is actually quite nicely done, but let's take a look at the head itself. Now the skin tone is painted in dark brown, very nicely done. The hair is painted in black, but the eyes is very well done. Now the pupils are painted in dark brown, but you notice, I'm not too sure if you can see it, but next to the pupils is a bit of white paint job to actually simulate like a glare to the eyes itself. Very nicely done. Eyebrows is painted as well. The neck here is also painted in his flesh tone skin in dark brown. Now the torso, well, majority of the parts here is in black plastic. So the torso here is actually in black plastic, but the green paint job is painted on, very nice. And white paint job for the logo itself, like a half logo there. Shoulders here is painted in green. The entire black colors there is all in plastic colors. The gloves are all painted in white, but a little bit of, I would say, gray at the edges here in between the joints itself. I guess the white paint job didn't seep all the way in, because this section you notice is a bit dirty. It's not all the way through with the paint job. Now the ring here is also painted, but the edges of the ring managed to blend onto the gloves itself, on the finger gloves. It's not really well done on the paint job. Now the crotch area here, the entire green plastic. Now the legs, the entire legs is all in black plastic, but the lower section of the shin here is all painted in green, and the boots are all in green plastic. The paint job is actually very nice, but hit and a miss, especially on this section on the gloves here. There's a bit of gray going on, a little bit bleeding on the edges there, but overall the entire paint job is actually quite nice, making John Stewart's uniform is quite unique in design, well, at least for the paint job. Now let's take a look at the figure sculpt. Let me start on the head first. Now the head sculpt, you can see the head here is a bit tilted on one side. Okay, so that's a really bad point there. I guess the joint is a bit, well, deformed on one area, so his head is actually looking downwards a little bit. But I really love the head sculpt, especially on the hair. Very nice details there, but for John Stewart's hair there. The face sculpt is also quite nicely done. Very stern looking John Stewart. No nonsense man. Very nice. But there are a bit of seams. The seam line shown at the, well, on top of the ear itself, but not as obvious. Just a little bit here. It's still alright. On the other side it covers a little bit, but you can still see the seam lines a little bit here. Very nice with the face sculpt. Quite detailed stuff, because the forehead here, you can actually see a little bit of wrinkles. Very nice. Now the body is a typical DCUC male body, but for John Stewart, the only exception here is the lower arms here, the forearms, because it's actually, well, to simulate a little bit of like he's wearing a pair of gloves. Very nicely done. So overall, this entire body is not similar straight from Hal Jordan, Tomari or Sinestro. The hands is a bit different. Very nicely done, but the rest of the stuff is still the same. So you got muscle tones being shown throughout the entire body itself. You can see all the muscle details there. So at the back there. Now on the right hand, the fist here, the hand is enclosed fist, and you get to see the ring being sculpted on. The left hand here is molded with a sort of open grip hand for him to hold the lantern itself. Very nice. I'm really disappointed on the neck joint though. It's a bit on one side, you can see that. Let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head actually can pivot a little bit downwards, a little bit upwards. Barely able to pivot up a little bit, because it's, you can't actually do a flight stand with this figure, because his head is very limited with the articulation. But you can, well, turn 360 degrees with the head, of course. Torso here can move forward, back. Waist joint here turn 360 degrees. Shoulders joints here can turn 360 degrees, and lift the arms this far, close the arms this far, or all the way here like so. Upper bicep here turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint here bend this far, and wrist joint here turn 360 degrees. Now for the hip joints here, can move forward, back a little bit, and to the sides. Lower thigh here can swivel 360 degrees, like so. Knee joint here can bend this far, and ankle joint can pivot downwards, upwards, and that's about it. Now overall, the figure's paint job is actually not bad, and it doesn't look very bland compared to Hal Jordan, because the head is actually painted compared to Hal Jordan's unpainted flesh tone skin. This one is actually painted, and I really like the small little touch they did with the eyeballs there, especially on the little bit of glare on the pupils. Very nice. Despite that, there's a little bit of bleeding onto the ring itself and a little bit on the glove, but not that obvious. But I really love the paint for the entire uniform. The uniform looks very unique, despite that it's mostly black anyway, but it's quite nicely done. Again, lacking of the accessories itself, especially on the Green Lantern constructs. It's really bad and very lacking. So if I'm gonna give a rating out of John Stewart, I would say I'll give it a nice 7 out of 10. Yes, he's even higher than Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan's flesh tone skin is not painted. At least he's painted, and there's a bit of difference. The lower arms here is a bit more different compared to those two figures like Hal Jordan and Tomari that I already reviewed. You can see there, very nicely done. So 7 out of 10 for John Stewart. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.